Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at just how good the strength Brainwashed Supreme Kai is after her recent Dokkan awakening on DBZ Dokkan battle. So obviously she's a pretty good unit. I think the big question is whether you can get all of her conditions to activate at the correct time. She is a crossover lead of 150%, and then her passive, well, her passive reads pretty wild, to be honest with you. Her passive is probably one of the most conditional passives I think in the game, but it is genuinely quite a interesting one. So she has a rare chance of stunning all enemies. She has Ki +2 and attack and defense of 100%. She gets an additional attack and defense of 100% when performing a super attack, and has an additional attack of 100% when the target enemy is in attack down, an additional attack of 100% when the target enemy is in defense down, an additional attack of 100% when the target enemy's super attack is sealed, and an additional attack of 100% when the target enemy is stunned. She will then seal the attacked enemy's super attack for 2 turns, and a medium chance of stunning all enemies when there's another crossover category ally in the turn. She also massively raises defense on her super. So if you factor in all of these things, she looks pretty nutty. She is like one of those units that can hit like 11, 12 million attack stats. In terms of link skill, she has Master of Magic, Telekinesis, Godly Power, More Than Meets the Eye, Demonic Power, Battlefield Diva, and Shattering the Limit. And she's on limited categories, being only on Corroded Body and Mind, Crossover, Dragon Ball Heroes, Patara, Realm of the Gods, and Time Travelers, which is all fairly decent in terms of categories. It's nothing too crazy. I don't think you could really realistically stick her on too many more. She's going to predominantly be run on a crossover, Dragon Ball Heroes, Time Travelers, etc., where there's a strong Dragon Ball Heroes presence. It's not that she necessarily needs them. You are fortunate in that she has very limited capabilities. You're missing out on a seal and on medium chance of stunning all enemies, but it's still quite nice. Luckily it's only dependent on crossover, so there is a little bit more variability and usability in terms of her overall performance. But yeah, so that is obviously her passive and her details and everything like that. But now how does it work? Well, it's all multiplicative, so it can get really high or not look that great at all. It's kind of one of those overarching mechanics where a unit can really look crazy and really not look crazy. So here we have 133,000 defense. In this scenario, we currently have the defense down active. We do not have the attack down active. We do not have the seal active. We do have the stun active. We could get the seal active with the poutine, but you run the risk of her absolutely destroying Pan. So we're just going to see how she runs with 2 conditions active. Nothing too crazy, just attack down, stunning. And yeah, we're going to see how we go. 8 million. So yeah, interesting, very interesting. Now if you have none of them active, her attack stat drops to a very reasonable 4 million or 5 million or so, depending on how your link levels are. Not that that's in any way, shape bad. Nice thing about her is her defense is not locked behind anything at all. So her defense does look a bit low, but when you factor in that she gains another 100% upon super, and that she then doubles the defense with her massively raising, she can easily get to around the 400k mark, which is very good when you consider how, what you need to do the current hard content. Her total attack boost when affected by every single condition is 1100, which is pretty nuts. We will be getting that, I'll be showing it in another clip. Here we are not able to get that. We're going to get the stun here, and we're going to get the attack or defense lower, but we're not going to get both of them. And then we're going to see a very similar attack stat to last turn. So if you just get 2 conditions, which I think is fairly reasonable, you can get an 8 million attack stat with ease. Defense looking good around that 400k, 450-ish mark, which is really, really good. The fact that she's able to also do it by herself is also very, very impressive. she's able to stun. She has a rare chance of stunning all enemies. She has a medium chance if they all cross over allies. She can seal as well. I wouldn't necessarily place her, in terms of additional. I would still build her into crit to manifest some of that big boy damage. Nice thing is her links do help her as well. So demonic telekinesis reduces enemy defense. I think Master of Magic reduces enemy defense as well. So that does help her. It's obviously triggering one portion of her skill. She greatly lowers attack and defense on her super attack effect as well. She can seal from her passive and she can stun from her passive. So all pretty good stuff. Here we're going to activate everything at once. So here we're going to have absolutely everything active. You can see defense still very consistent. It's unaffected by the conditions. So don't worry about her defense. We've got the majority of the important links active. I think we've got 4. And we're going to get the seal. Going to get the attack lower, the defense lower. Going to get a follow-up super, which is going to stun. And then now we get 12 million. Which can go even higher, because her links do give her a lot more. So she can get defense from demonic power. She can get defense from more than meets the eye. She gets some attack from godly power and shattering the limit, so it can be pushed a little bit more. But yeah, almost 12 million, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, that's kind of the obvious upper echelons of her attack stat. That's kind of with everything active, support. Yes, you could push it higher, equipment, link levels, that could all help. But I think personally, the 7-8 million mark is a much more accurate representation of what you're going to see most of the time. It's a lot easier to get 2 of the conditions than it is to get all 4 at once on one enemy, especially since the only bosses that kind of have that kind of health are either in like the latest SBR stages or are in the LGE, GT, etc. So in terms of link skills, we've got demonic power, telekinesis, more than meets the eye, battlefield diva, master of magic, godly power, shattering the limit. And in terms of focal points, you kind of want to focus on shattering the limit, battlefield diva. These are generally speaking the better key links to focus on if you are trying to build a team around her. You have telekinesis, which is an okay link, minus 20% defense. Demonic power and more than meets the eye are kind of your highlight links. Between the 2 of them, you can get 30% attack, 20% defense. Master of Magic gives you 15% attack. Godly Power gives you 15% attack, and Shattering the Limit gives you 5% attack and defense when you fully link level it. Overall, there's nothing that I would say you need to focus on. I think, to be honest with you, all looks pretty good. For me personally, she looks really solid. I don't know whether she's a unit that will see a lot of gameplay, considering she doesn't really link necessarily very well with the heroes team itself. She doesn't really have cold judgments and some of the other more regular links that a lot of the extreme Dragon Ball Heroes units have. So even though she links up well with Toa and with Poutine is probably her best option, she doesn't necessarily have the best link set to run on the current team. She can definitely be run. I think if you're using them for an SBR and ESBR, you'd be stupid not to bring her. I think she's fantastic. I just think if you are looking at running the team in any other capacity, then maybe she's not really the one to run in that instance. It's not that she's bad without the links, she's pretty good. It's just that the links detract from the other units. She's fine, but without Cold Judgment, without Brainiacs, a lot of the other units immediately don't look so good, because that is like 30% defense from links. So that's one hindrance I would say about her. But as a floater or something like that, she's definitely very good. Obviously her best pairing partner is actually the Supreme Kai of Time, who recently got an easy aim. So if you're just looking at running a hybrid super extreme cross Dragon Ball Heroes team, then you can definitely run the 2. They have great synergy, great link set, fantastic overall compatibility. so it's definitely something you can consider. But yeah, that's basically it for me. I don't think there's anything else really to cover about her. I think she's a great unit. She's a lot of fun, and when you get things right, she looks crazy. When you don't get things right, she still looks pretty decent. Obviously, this is at Rainbow, so just take everything with a pinch of salt. But yeah, generally speaking, I would say she's pretty good. So for me, I think she's awesome, and I'm interested to hear what you guys think. So obviously, let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, as always, I will see you guys in the next video. So until then, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.